everyone, welcome to Startup Street. I'm Ritu Singh and with me is my colleague Shruti Mishra. Here are the key headlines from the startup space. The Supreme Court orders a stay on show cause notices worth 1.12 lakh crore rupees against online gaming companies, says no further proceedings should be carried out against the companies until the court.
Blinkit has launched Bistro, its new 10-minute food delivery app to rival Snack by Swiggy and Zepto's Zepto Cafe. The app will provide canteen-type food as per the company.
Quick commerce platform Zepto has shifted the domicile of its holding entity from Singapore to India as it gears up for an IPO in the next few months.
Standalone Instamart app from Swiggy goes live on both Android Play Store and Apple's App iStore. Instamart will continue to exist on the landing page of the Swiggy app as well.
Healthcare AI firm Innovaccer raises $275 million in a Series F funding round. The round comprised primary and secondary investments with participation from B Capital Group, Banner Health, Danaher Ventures, Generation Investment Management, Kaiser Permanent and M12.
Now to the top stories that we're tracking today. The quick commerce battle is heating up. Blinkit has launched Bistro, its new 10-minute food delivery app to rival Snack by Swiggy and Zepto's Zepto Cafe. The app will provide canteen-type food as per the company. It will also operate outside the purview of Blinkit and Zomato. The service is currently live across a few locations in Gurugram. And speaking of Bistro, Zomato-owned Blinkit CEO Albinder Dhinsa has clarified that Zomato will never launch private brands on Zomato app to compete with its restaurant partners. This comes after the National Restaurant Association of India threatened legal action against Zomato and Swiggy over the launch of private label food apps. Dhinsa said that Bistro has a standalone team and Zomato restaurant data has not been used for Bistro.
And from Blinkit to Zepto then, quick commerce platform Zepto has shifted the domicile of its holding entity from Singapore to India as it gears up for an IPO in the next few months. The entire process was completed in less than 3 months. Further, the 10-minute food delivery app Zepto Cafe has surpassed 50,000 orders per day within just 4 weeks of its launch. Now, in a social media post, the company's CEO Adit Palicha said, and I quote, "It feels like Zepto is just getting started," end of quote. He also claimed that Zepto Cafe, a separate app which was launched in December, has seen a growth of 60% month on month. Now moving on, quick commerce is India's Quick India movement as consumers lead the party, says Vaibhav, the CEO of Better Capital, explaining why he's betting on outcome as a service. Take a look at what he said.
Double-clicking on quick commerce, Shireen, I call it the Quick India movement, right? I've been very positive about it for a long time. We actually launched 10-minute food with a company called Whoosh back in 2022. And, the market wasn't really ready to support at that time. So we're very excited about what's happening. I actually believe there is a new rail for retail that quick commerce is laying.
Also on what's brewing, Infinity Fincorp Solutions, or Infinity, an RBI-registered non-banking financial company, has raised $35 million from marquee investor Jungle Ventures with participation from Archer Man Capital and Magnifico. With this investment, which received RBI approval in October last year, Infinity's net worth has risen to 530 crore rupees and assets under management has surpassed 1,000 crore rupees. To talk to us about the road ahead at Infinity, joining me now is its founder, MD and CEO Shrikant Ravalkar. Shrikant, welcome to Startup Street. Like I just mentioned, Infinity has crossed significant milestones, surpassing the 1,000 crore rupee in assets under management, a 33% growth since March 2024. And now you're hoping to grow your AUM to 1,300 plus crores by March 2025. What has led to this growth and what makes you bullish?
Yeah, thanks Ritu for having me here. Really feel honored to speak.
Well, we'll try Shrikant in just a bit. I think Ritu has another guest lined up with her. Ritu, over to you.
Yes. Yes, Shruti, we'll get back to Infinity Fincorp in just a bit, but Homegrown Skincare brand RAS Luxury Skincare has raised $5 million in a Series A funding round. It was led by Unilever's investment arm, Unilever Ventures, and also saw participation from Amazon Sambhav Venture Fund, among others. Now, RAS will leverage the fresh capital to expand its retail footprint. It also plans to focus on exclusive brand outlets and shop-in-shop retail, with 50 more pan-India exclusive brand outlets planned in the next 3 years. For more on this, I have with me the founder and CEO of RAS Luxury Skincare, Shubhika Jain. Shubhika, thanks very much for your time here on Startup Street. Very briefly for our viewers, tell us about RAS, why you started it, and the luxury skincare market in India. Quite competitive there. How do you differentiate yourself? What kind of market share do you hope to capture?
Sure. Thank you so much, Ritu, for having me on Startup Street. I feel really honored to be here. So RAS is India's first farm-to-face luxury D2C skincare and wellness brand. The vision is to be the #1 luxury skincare brand in India and go global. And our mission is to improve the health and wellness of our patrons via effective, clean, natural beauty and skincare products. So we raised this fresh funding from Unilever Ventures and Amazon, along with participation from our current investors, to improve our offline EBO presence, do a lot more in our marketing and branding efforts, launch more innovative R&D backed products, and grow.
All right. If you could detail a bit more on how exactly you're going to deploy this capital, will most of it be used for your offline expansion, or how do you plan to allocate it?
So we've been growing, we grew 140% from the previous year now, and we plan to kind of now B2C makes up more than 50% of what we do, and we plan to grow more in the offline EBO presence, with also growing in an omni-channel way.
Okay. Well, tell us what your plans there are, because, you currently have 2 exclusive brand outlets, as we understand, and those 50 more that you've planned in the next 3 years, and D2C channels contribute 50% of your revenue. So how do you see this revenue mix evolving as well with the offline retail expansion plans? How fast is online growing?
Sure. So I'll tell you a little bit brief about when we first got our funding from 6 Sense 2 years back. So that time D2C was around 90% of our business. Now it's moved more towards 50%. Yeah. And we see going forward, this 50% is going to come down to 40% or 35%, with more emphasis coming from offline channels, EBO, shop-in-shop, and also Horeca and other B2B businesses that we are doing. So that's how I think this is going to come through.
Could you give us a sense of, since you're a relatively young company, 140% compounded annual growth rate in the past year, but what are you doing in terms of monthly sales? Where are your revenues overall currently at? And at what pace is business growing?
So business is growing at a crazy pace. We are just about to reach to 100 crore ARR in this coming quarter. And we believe that we hope to kind of clock in 100 crores of revenue in the coming fiscal year.
Okay, could you give us a breakup of where this 100 crores is coming from? What are the fastest growing verticals? Because you're also going to use some of this money to get into new product lines. What are those? So give us a sense of, where you're raking in most of the money.
So honestly, if you see EBOs, right, we are pretty bullish on that, EBOs. So we believe almost 20-30% of the money will go on that. A little bit of it, around 10 to 20% of it will go into R&D to develop new product lines which we do not have, say hair care or more in the face care or in the beauty space. And a part of it will go into marketing, improving the brand pull, and also building the stellar team, so that we're able to get that kind of talent on board. So
Shubhika, before we let you go finally, go ahead.
No. So even marketplaces, for that matter, we were speaking about quick commerce before I came in. So quick commerce is also contributing a good part of our revenue. Nykaa, Tira, Amazon, Flipkart, and a lot of these other channels are obviously contributing a healthy part of the revenue. And the rest will come from the offline. So it would become somewhere close to 20 to 25, where it currently is close to around 15.
Shubhika, before we let you go, where do you see the brand? How do you see it evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you have any global ambitions as well now that you have Unilever's investment?
Yes, we're super excited about that. And definitely, even the day we started, we wanted to make this brand a brand from India, which is authentic, a global brand. So we definitely have global ambitions. And we will be trying to get into some sort of shop and shop kind of retail globally as well. Before going into EBOs in the global, our focus is definitely India, but we will be keeping on trying to get global in the next 1-2 years.
Well, Shivika, we're going to have to leave it at that, and we wish you the best with your venture. Thank you very much for your time here on CNBC TV18 today.
Thank you so much, Ritu.
Well, we've
Well,
got
on that note, I'm going to toss it back to Shruti.
Thank you so much, Ritu. We've got Shrikant Rawalkar back, and like I mentioned earlier, Infinity Fincorp Solutions, or Infinity, an RBI registered non-banking financial company, has raised $35 million from marquee investor Jungle Ventures with participation from Archerman Capital and Magnifico. We're joined by its founder, MD and CEO Shrikant Rawalkar. Shrikant, welcome back to Startup Street. This is Shruti. Like I just mentioned, Infinity has crossed significant milestones. It has surpassed 1,000 crore rupees in assets under management, a 33% growth since March 2024, and now you're hoping to grow your AUM to over 1,300 crore rupees by March 2025. Shrikant, what has led to this growth and what makes you bullish?
Yeah, thank you, Shruti, for having me on CNBC TV18. We are an NBFC focused on providing secured financial solutions to small or micro entrepreneurs and self-employed individuals, and they are disconnected from the formal lending network of banks and the larger NBFCs. So that's where we have a play. So as you said, the growth in the loan book and the business has happened through the organic growth in our existing geographies. We have presence in 8 states: Andhra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, and Maharashtra. So here we have 130 plus branches and over 1,600 employees. And we have a branch-led network. We have our own sourcing channel. We don't source through DSAs and the connectors. Our own employees, feet on street, source these. So the hard work of all our feet on street and immense opportunity in the segment. The total addressable market is around 22 trillion. And as of now, it is only 3 to 4% has been addressed. So it's an immense opportunity who are able to execute in this segment.
Absolutely, there's a huge potential. Shrikant, Infinity reported a profit of 26 crore rupees for FY24, and you're forecasting an increase to 47 crore rupees for FY25. Profitability has been one of your core strengths. Talk to us about your execution and operational model.
Yeah, so Ritu, for any NBFC, for any given segment, the rate at which you lend is market determined. The rate at which you borrow is market determined. The talent who help you build the business, again, the price of the talent, the salaries are market determined. The branches where you have, they are also, the rentals are market determined. What you have in your hand is the sales productivity, credit productivity, collection efficiency, leadership, and culture. If you see the biggest challenge in this lending industry or a BFSI in general is the employee attrition. The employee attrition in this segment ranges in the range of 50 to 60%, whereas at Infinity we have been able to manage it below 25%, and that's the core strength of our company, which has helped us to achieve this milestone of 1,000 crore in a micro lab segment in less than 3.5 years.
All right. You currently operate across 8 states, like you mentioned earlier, and you've disbursed 562 crore rupees over the last 12 months. How many live loan accounts do you currently have, and what's the average loan size? Also, what's the pipeline looking like?
Yeah, so we have close to 30,000 plus live customers, and we operate at the average loan size of 4 lakhs.
Okay. Infinity also provides loans to micro entrepreneurs like tea shop owners, vegetable vendors, electricians, plumbers, and small manufacturers, individuals who are often overlooked by traditional financial institutions. How big is the opportunity? And also talk to us about the regulatory challenges in this space.
Yeah, so we have a very robust regulatory framework. RBI has been providing a robust guidelines overall for NBFC and for all the sectors. As we see time to time, proactive measures taken by RBI actually help us for lenders like us to understand the segment well. So yeah, so it has to be seen not as a challenge, but the regulator provides a proactive guideline on the growth path for our NBFCs like us.
All right, Shrikant, we are pressed for time. I'll have to wrap up our conversation, but many thanks for joining us today and wish you the very best for all your growth plans.
Thank you very much, Ritu. Thank you, CNBC-TV18.
Well, in our next segment, OYO has closed its doors to unmarried couples with new guidelines effective this year, which bar them from checking in. The directive launched in Meerut may be expanded to other cities as well. My colleague Aishwarya Anand is here with an on-ground report on what India's youth feel about this move and if the policy is even legal.
If you're an unmarried couple looking to book an OYO, well, tough luck. According to the company's new guidelines, unmarried couples will not be allowed to book a room on OYO hotels. The firm would require proof of marriage for couples to make any bookings. According to OYO, the push for this policy has come after repeated requests from local hotel owners who have sought the discretion to deny access to unmarried couples, something which OYO previously did not allow them to do. While the directive right now is restricted to Meerut, it may also be expanded to other cities. Before we dive into the whys and hows of this, let's get a sense of how the young people feel about this policy.
अनमैरिड कपल्स को आने नहीं देना चाहिए क्योंकि वो लोग शायद बाद में जाके मैरिड हो जाएं और उन लोगों को शायद ट्राई करना हो अपना रिलेशनशिप कि कैसा है, किस बातचीत है, कैसा चल रहा है, एवरीथिंग हैज़ अ मतलब मीनिंग. सो आई थिंक उन्हें अलाउ करना चाहिए.
वो जो कर रहे हैं वो सही है, बाकी हमें भी देखना चाहिए. जैसे हम लोग क्या क्या करने जा रहे हैं वो हमें को पता, सबको पता है जो क्या करने जाते हैं.
क्यों यार, लोग चिल करने भी जा सकते हैं.
ओयो अगर माइंड में आता है तो फिर एक ही थिंकिंग घूमती है माइंड में.
आई एम अगेंस्ट द आइडिया ऑफ ओयो बैनिंग अनमैरिड कपल फ्रॉम एंटरिंग द प्लेस. इंडिया में इतनी कहीं प्राइवेसी है नहीं जहाँ पे वो लोग बैठ के बात कर सकते हैं. So they find places like OYOs and other hotels where they can have some private talks or maybe share their ideas. So it's not just about physical intimacy or anything like that.
I don't believe that like any corporation or organization should have the right to decide whether people who are not married or married for that sake should be able to check in into a hotel. Then it also really makes you feel like what personal right do you have? Like what can I do as an individual in a country which is democratic?
So if one hotel starts doing it, the society that we live in, is there a fear that this could have a ripple impact as well?
ये पॉलिसी मुझे ठीक लग रही है क्योंकि बिकॉज यहाँ पर ओनर्स को बहुत बार कुछ पुलिस ने हैरेस करना पड़ता है और कुछ और भी चीज़ें होती हैं. सो अगर ऐसा हो रहा है और उनके ऊपर इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है तो डेफिनेटली वो अगर उनके ऊपर ही वो चीज़ छोड़ी गई है तो उनका बनता है उस चीज़ को पूरा एक्सरसाइज करना.
I really don't support it because couples who are not married also need personal space.
In a statement to CNBC-TV18, OYO clarified it has been receiving feedback from civil society groups in Meerut on the issue. It also added that residents from Meerut and few other cities had petitioned OYO to disallow unmarried couples to book rooms in its hotels. The company says its policy follows local social sensibilities. But the question remains, is this new policy legal? OYO clearly states on its website that there is no national law against stays by unmarried couples. The website states that guests need to be above 18 years of age and need to produce valid identity proof at the time of booking.
Article 21 has already incorporated the right to privacy. This policy of OYO infringes the values of Constitution enriched in Article 21, and also it is contrary to the values and the principles of Constitution in Article 15 and 14 as well, because 15 prohibits discrimination as such, and we are all entitled for right to equality. This policy cannot be sustained. This is not legally sustainable. It is absolutely illegal. Today, the discrimination is just against unmarried couples. It's against LGBT community, which has been recognized by law, and consenting adults can have legal relationships as such. Tomorrow, they may digress into the domain, which is a very dangerous domain, on caste, on religion as such. People who cannot be checked in. The law is very clear on those. Deficient identity documents, apprehension that he may have committed a crime or may commit a crime as such. There are disqualification scenarios for not checking the people. And who will ascertain the relationship of two consenting adults? They are not experts. What if the foreigners walks in? Will they also would like to send a message that India is going back to dark ages to the entire world as well?
We understand that with this effort, OYO is looking to position itself as a hotel chain for families, business personals, solo adventurers and travelers. Sources have told us that currently on the platform, the unmarried couples category is bringing in less than 10% of the business. With camera person Saurabh Chauhan, Aishwarya Anand in New Delhi for CNBC-TV18.
Well, with that, it's time for us to head into a short break. On the other side, we remember leaders from the startup world who passed away too soon. Details when we return.
The Indian startup community has been shaken by the tragedy.
Well, welcome back. It's time now to take a stock of all the startup deals that have happened in this last week. Now, this week saw 13 deals worth over $330 million, according to data from Venture Intelligence. First up, digital health records enabler Innovaccer has raised $275 million from B Capital, M12 and others, while education-focused fintech company GreatQuest raised $9.3 million from 361, Claypond Capital and Pravega Ventures.
Not only that, banana chip seller Beyond Snack filled in their pockets with $8.3 million from 12 Flags Group, NAB Ventures, Enrich India Capital and others. Digital payments platform for MSMEs Mintok got $8.15 million from Z3 Partners. And last but not the least, deep energy tech startup Emo Energy secured $6.2 million from Shubhkam Ventures, Transition VC and others.
Well, in this fast-paced world of startups where innovation and ambition drive founders to push boundaries, some untimely departures have left a deep impact on both the industry and those that they left behind. We bring you a special tribute that celebrates the lives and legacies of founders and venture capital people who've passed away too soon and whose contributions continue to inspire.
The Indian startup community has been shaken by the tragic and untimely demise of several visionary founders who pushed the boundaries of innovation and left an indelible impact. These losses are not just personal tragedies, but collective setbacks for an ecosystem fueled by their passion and resilience. At the start of this year, the startup world mourned the sudden loss of Amit Banerjee, co-founder and CEO of managed workspace company Table Space, who died at just 44. While the exact cause of his death remains unknown, reports suggest a heart attack. Banerjee, who co-founded Tablespace in 2017 after a 13-year tenure at Accenture, was known for revolutionizing managed workspaces in India. 42-year-old Rohan Mirchandani, the man behind Greek yogurt brand Epigamia, passed away on December 21st due to a cardiac arrest. Rohan's innovative spirit brought freshness to a dairy industry long dominated by legacy giants like Amul, Nestle and Mother Dairy. Through Epigamia, he introduced a modern, health-conscious offering to Indian consumers.
There was a battle that was fought back then in not 500 AD, 500 BC, and the battle culminated in a peace treaty called Epigamia between the Macedonian Greeks and the Mauryan Indians. And that treaty actually, essentially in ancient Greek, it means the blending and merging of two civilizations. And we thought it was very interesting for us, given what we're trying to do here, which is contemporize tradition as well as push boundaries, sort of give amazing products that are Indian in terms of where they're born and where they're made, but they're global in nature.
On October 1st, Rohan Malhotra, co-founder and managing partner of venture capital firm Good Capital, left us at the young age of 36. Malhotra was instrumental in nurturing emerging entrepreneurial talent and shaping India's early-stage investment landscape. His vision and contributions remain unparalleled, leaving a void in the VC and startup community. Another heartbreaking loss was Ambarish Murthy, co-founder and CEO of Pepperfry, the online furniture marketplace. At 51, Murthy's life was cut short by a cardiac arrest during a biking trip in Leh on August 7, 2023. His leadership was instrumental in transforming Pepperfry into a household name in India's e-commerce sector.
We built a fairly awesome brand. I mean, it's a brand, especially when it comes to furniture. Almost every customer in India is familiar with brand Pepperfry. Yeah. Courtesy building a really good brand, one of the things that happens is about 75% of our business happens organically. So, typically you think of an internet business and you say, in an internet business, Amrish must be spending money on Google or on Facebook to drive customers in his direction. 75% of my business, I actually don't pay anybody to drive business in my direction. These are customers who come type www.pepperfry.com. We are the starting point for them.
In 2021, Pankuri Srivastava, founder of rental startup Grabhouse and the women-focused community platform, Pankuri passed away at just 32 due to a cardiac arrest. With Pankuri, launched in 2019, Srivastava championed women's empowerment